event. My name is Jesse Hamonick, and I'm the Vice President and Country Head of Nutrien Ag Solutions Canada. Like farming, curling brings our communities together, and Nutrien Ag Solutions is committed to promoting the diversity of sport within the communities where we work and live. We're so grateful to the Western Showdown team for allowing us to partner with them to bring you this event, and I want to wish you all, the teams, a safe and successful event.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2023 Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Curling Showdown. We're so glad you've decided to join us to come see some of the world's best curlers participate in this event. My name is Jim Grundy. I'm the Branch Director for RBC Dominion Securities here in Swift Current. Our branch is not only a huge fan and support of curling in our community, we're also proud to support the 2023 Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Curling Showdown, as RBC is committed to working with our community to promote and celebrate vibrancy in sport in the community in which we live. Thank you to everyone on the organizing committee for putting this great event together, and on behalf of RBC Dominion Securities, enjoy the tournament.
Saskatchewan, you know SaskTel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With SaskTel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. SaskTel cares. Always has.
Light up your love for curling with our customizable neon LED lights from Letterlands. Choose your new neon mixed doubles partner or make a statement with a neon curling rock in your window. Also actual Letterlands. Use discount code WHOA for 15% off. Only at Letterlands.com.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's going to make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Swift Current is great because everybody that we do business with, we know on some sort of personal level.
What I love about Swift Current is the vibrant arts and culture community.
I really like Swift Current. We are not a big city, but the size of the city is really good and we have everything.
Swift Current is a great sports town, great teams and great fans.
People say, good morning, hi, how are you, even though we don't know each other.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Big weight. Sweepers immediately point to the skies. So that one might have been overthrown a touch. We have seen some decent finish here, though. Got the hit, got the inside roll. Does it spin back behind that center guard? Maybe a fraction. Maybe a corner hidden. Certainly no inside roll available for Serena Gray Withers. So this end shaping up like a force. Clifford will try to pick out the shot rock. And this is going to be flirting with that center guard. Are they by? Are they by? Just very well swept. A centimeter from disaster. Zoe Cinnamon on the inside sweep. Just got it by that center guard. And after saying there's no inside roll, that one very nearly did. Corryn Brown heads down to the delivery end. Not too many good places she can leave her roll. Nose would be outstanding, but you really will have to flirt with that center guard to make. Samantha Fisher again points up to the skies, thinking it's a bit heavy. And again, close to the guard, but they're by, and it is a nose hit. That is a fantastic shot. Mission force accomplished. And Serena Gray Withers going to have to navigate a port here to score her single point. Should be enough room between the corner guard and the center guard for her to make this shot. But there's not a ton of room there. Serena checks in with her front end players. They've been hitting a lot. Now they need to find T-line weight. Final stone of end number 2 is on its way for Serena Gray Withers of Edmonton. Needs to draw a port facing 2. Well, they're by the corner guard. That's not a problem. Now, how's the weight? Needs full 8 foot. This one's a bit hot. How deep will it go? How deep will it go? And it just hangs around to bite a piece of the 8 foot for a single point. Well, no, apologies. I'm 2 shots premature. Goodness, in all my excitement. Need to count the rocks. Still 2 to come. And that was a nice shot by Serena Gray Withers. Goes to the back of the 8 foot. That gives Corryn Brown some options. She could follow it down, sit right on top of it. She could follow it down and nudge it. She could ignore it entirely and just try to bury front 4. It's always nice to have some tolerance on distance on these kinds of shots. Only bad miss here is light. Good looking line. This one will slide just past the tee line, but a very, very nice stone. Fully buried. So, after prematurely saying mission force accomplished, now it's very much mission force accomplished. Serena Gray Withers will need a piece of the button to score. Lots of movement. Ice is terrific here in Swift Current. Quick and lots of curl. Good look from the overhead. Serena Gray Withers will need full button to score. Needs to dial back that first stone by about 5 feet. Challenge can be when you subtract weight. Sometimes you change the break point. They're going to have to go closer by that guard this time, and they're by. Line's terrific. Where's the weight? Need full button to score. Dragging it as far as they can, but it is going to come up just a fraction light, I think. We'll just wait for the verification. Yes, indeed. Steal of a single point for Corryn Brown. Back-to-back steals for the British Columbians, and after 2 ends of play, Team Brown lead it 2-0.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Well, what do y'all think? Too blue? Not blue enough? Try this.
Makes your eyes pop.
This could be our best yield yet.
And didn't we get this seed at a great financing rate?
Yeah, we did.
Iced tea? Great idea. Let's talk more about next year.
I got some thoughts.
And I've got some numbers.
Nutrien Financial, financing that's in the field with you.
SaskTel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? SaskTel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
Welcome back to Swift Current. Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown. Play in the women's event. Pool format competition. Pool A match between Corryn Brown and Serena Gray Withers. Back-to-back steals for Team Brown has them up 2-0 as we play in end number 3. Samantha Fisher looking to duck one around that center guard, but it's going to be a bit light and sit right alongside her first guard stone. So Zoe Cinnamon of Team Gray Withers, after throwing a corner guard on her first shot, will get an opportunity to try and duck one around. Good looking line. You'd love this one to be top 8 foot and look just about perfect. Nearly fully buried. Corryn Brown puts her brush handle down, says, "Can you see much?" And the answer has to be nope, not much at all. Doesn't look like Jennifer Armstrong is going to have a little chase of it, though. See the hand signal there saying this one's a bit of a spinner. It's already on the corner guard. And that one's in the free guard zone. So that one will come back. Just repositioning the stone after the free guard zone infraction. So a good chance here now for Team Grey Withers to try and manufacture a multiple point end. Problem for them, those center guards, they're not exactly overlapped. They are maybe a fraction. But there should be a run back available for Team Brown. And that presumes Brianna Cullen can get one in there. This one's tracking a little bit. We'll make a big move late. That one comes to rest, just biting back 4 foot. Does hide a corner. Slides behind the tee line. So Corryn Brown says, all right, we can follow it. Good look at the overhead. There's a lot of room to use. Again, though, this one tracking a little bit down that line around the 8 foot circle. It's got a piece, but it's certainly not going to get an inside roll. Removes the counter, but it's in the open. So immediately, Serena Grey Withers says, yeah, we can hit that one flop inside. If we do that, we're in business. We also elect to draw around here. Try to set up a 3, but this is the safer call. Brianna Cullen. The first one just tracked a little bit wide. This one seems to be doing the same. I wouldn't say it's a run, but there's definitely a little straighter patch down that edge of the 8 foot circle. Makes the hit, but no roll. One comes another rock width further forward in the house. So now it's Corryn Brown's turn to say, okay, well, we can hit and roll. Third end of play. Wherever you're joining us, we're glad you're with us. We're in swift current. There's that little inside roll, but not quite enough to get behind cover. So now it's The turn of Team Grey Withers to try the hit and flop. Who's going to nail it first? Catherine Clifford was going to give it a go. Very clean slide and delivery there from Catherine. Can they hold the line? This one with a little bit down weight, moving a little bit extra. Got contact. Is it going to stick around? And will it push that stone out of the rings? Well, they do just stick around back 12. So after 3 consecutive, a little bit wide, a little bit heavies, that one was a little bit light and a little bit over curl. Team Grey Withers does lie 2. And they're in quite awkward places for Corryn Brown. If you chase the one at the back, you're basically inviting your opponent to whip around the corner or around the center guard. But it does look like she's going to make the play at it. I'm not sure I like this call. And the team are having some discussion about that, I suspect, exactly that point. Hit the one in the back. What does that do for us? They're going to come down and have a chat. You hit the stone in the back ring, your opponent's already going to be lying 1. And then you run the rest of it. They just ignore second shot, get around the center guards, and then all of a sudden you're looking at dropping 3. Corryn seems pretty clear in her mind that she doesn't like that stone in the back ring, but after some discussion, Aaron Pincott and the teammates prevail and say, well, actually, if we're going to try and hit something, make a play at the shot rock, roll behind the center guard, and then the force is still alive. It is a riskier shot. You've got the corner guard to deal with, but yeah, I just didn't see any percentage at all hitting the stone in the back ring. Shot on its way. Can only see a corner of the target rock. This one's got some curling to do. Line's getting better. It's close. Are they by? They're just by. Wow, great sweeping. Is there enough to push it out of the rings? No, that's going to stick around. That could be trouble. You really needed to throw enough weight to make sure that you push the target rock out of the rings, and by leaving it there on the edge of the 12-foot, now 3 and more is potentially on the table for Serena Grey Withers and her teammates. Catherine Clifford got some options. They can roll inside, sweeping for curl. This one is a little bit heavier, and this one may spill. Oh no, and jammed the side stone. That's a disaster. Kind of got away with it. Yeah, just that little bit extra weight. Catherine's first one over curled, was quiet weight, and she stepped her weight up on that stone, ran a little bit straighter, jammed, and now all of a sudden you go from having a chance to score a 3 to maybe really having to scramble to score at all. Jammed the yellow onto the side stone, and we can see it in the back of the 12-foot circle, that yellow counter. That red counter in the back 12 appears to be on the ring, so that's a potential counter, but Corryn Brown won't care about that too much. As long as I can get one around the center guards, we're in pretty good shape. Plenty of weight. It's going to go deep in the rings. Back forefoot. Fully covered. So now it's time for the legendary skipper's pair. If Serena Gray Withers is going to come out of this end with a multiple point score, she's going to have to do it with her 2 stones. It is a situation, though, that is kind of set up for that. Corryn Brown sliding a little bit deep with her draw. So Serena's got something to work with here. She can just play follow the leader. Choosing to come down the outturn side. So really not choosing the same path that Corryn just threw. I do wonder about this. I mean, I can see the logic around kind of going towards the stone in the back ring as opposed to curling past it. But you do bring the corner guard into play by coming on this outturn side. I think you just make this shot a little bit harder for yourself than you have to by coming the outturn side. Are they by? No, and that's the penalty that you pay for that shot selection. If she would have tried that on the in-turn side and just followed Corryn down, no chance of wrecking on a corner guard, but by choosing the outturn, Serena wrecks on the corner guard, and now door is wide open for Corryn Brown. She gets to throw basically the same shot that she just threw. She'll want to take a bit more ice because she wants to throw a bit less weight on this shot. Position A for her would be full forefoot, front forefoot, behind cover. Terrific opportunity for Corryn Brown, who's already leading this one by 2, to really turn the screws on Serena Gray Withers. Only bad result here is wrecking the center guard. They want to make sure they're by. It's going to be close. It's going to be very close. And they do graze the front stone. Aaron Pincott recognized that, called the sweepers off. So yeah, just not making the adjustment. Needed to take a bit more ice for that shot because she was going to be throwing it 6 feet lighter. It was going to break more. So that makes the last shot, well, I was going to say easier, but not so much at all. Serena Gray Withers spacing 3, and she's got the memory fresh in her brain about wrecking the corner guard on her first shot. Now she's going to have to navigate what is a pretty skinny port between those 2 red stones we can see on the right-hand side of our picture. Needs a good healthy piece of the forefoot to score. Last stone on its way for Serena Gray Withers. Once again, this stone tracking a little bit wide. Job 1 is get by the corner guard. They're going to have to get very close to that corner guard to make this shot. Are they by it? No, they graze it again. My goodness. I have to call that a sweeping error. At least 2. We'll just wait for confirmation if it's a steal of 3 or a steal of 2. Well, they kick the stones off. We'll confirm the score between ends. Multiple point steal for Corryn Brown of Kamloops. Team Brown leading it here in Swift Current.
I've been farming on my own right for 40 years now, I think. It's a very wholesome enterprise. You have very, very busy periods when you have to go hard. So many of our windows are so tight that you just can't afford to miss a couple days of seating.
When a producer places their trust in us, that when it's time for them to be able to make their living, we're going to be there. That's a tremendous responsibility that is not a one-day-a-year thing, right? In order to actually deliver on that, you have to build your processes and you have to build your team and you have to have a mindset of operational excellence, because there's a lot of things that can go wrong. And it's our job to make sure that they don't go wrong. Or if they do go wrong, that we can fix it before it affects our customer.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Light up your love for curling with our customizable neon LED lights from Letterlands. Choose your new neon mixed doubles partner or make a statement with a neon curling rock in your window. Also actual Letterlands. Use discount code WHOA for 15% off. Only at Letterlands.com.
Welcome back to Swift Current. We are in the fourth end of play. Corryn Brown of Kamloops facing Serena Gray Withers of Edmonton. Still awaiting actual confirmation whether that was a steal of 2 or a steal of 3. We'll just have to wait for the players to update the scoreboard so we know for sure. But what I can say with certainty is it is at least a 4-point lead for Corryn Brown. Serena Gray Withers wrecking corner guards on consecutive draw attempts on that fourth end. And I suspect after the game, when they debrief, they reflect on their shot choice, they may realize that they maybe made it a little bit harder on themselves than they needed to in that fourth end. Team Brown took full advantage. They're enjoying a healthy lead here in this game. Not surprisingly, they're choosing to bring the play into the rings. No more guards needed for Corryn Brown. Gray Withers will ask Zoe Cinnamon to go around that corner guard that she threw on her first rock. Okay, moment of truth. Somebody's got the score. It was a 2. Okay, now we know. So it's a 4-0 lead. Thank you, Aaron Pingott, for sticking the score on the board for us so we know exactly what the game situation is now. So we wrecked on that come around. So 2 guards up for Team Gray Withers. And Team Brown, I suspect, will continue to just dive bomb the 4-foot. Guarding a path, tight guard. Get the feeling that Serena Gray Withers just really wants to stop the bleeding. Down 4. You're typically not clearing guards, but in this situation, I suspect that Serena Gray Withers just wants to right the ship a little bit, get a point on the board, and go from there. Straight back, moves him around. Nice shot. And now it's the turn of Team Brown to start clearing house. Free guard part of the end is over. So I suspect it'll be bombs away for Jennifer Armstrong, but just as soon as I say that, interesting call. Jennifer is going to be asked to draw around that center guard to lie 2. Perhaps the thinking there, try a clearing shot. Maybe it pinballs, maybe it jams. They're set up pretty good. We've got our draw weight, so we'll just go in. This one's going to slide a bit deep. Just squarely on the tee line. Half buried. Nice shot from Jennifer. But if I'm Serena, I don't mind that. You're scrambling now. And this part of the game, you're thinking kind of 2 is a must. Really interesting. It does look like, is it the run back? Are they thinking that the run back might be an easier, straighter shot than the come around tap? Seems to be the run back attempt being thrown. It's close. It's got a piece. It's going to spill. Can't say that I'm a huge fan of that call. You're down 4, basically. For me, you're gambling like crazy anyways. I'd prefer to have more rocks in play than less. Team Brown once again going to try to duck around that center guard. I'd like this one to stay a little bit higher in the house if they can. This one does look pretty darn good. Very nice shot from Erin Pincott. And that is just about perfect, really. Once again, Serena Withers. Straight back, run back. They are angled a little bit better this time for Catherine Clifford. If she can get the nose or just off nose, might be able to make the raise double and maybe push it in behind cover as well. This one's going to over curl a fraction though. Pounds it back on second shot. Not a bad result for Team Gray Withers. There's a path to the shot rock. Erin Pincott says, I can see it. We can see it. Look at the slide and the delivery of Erin Pincott. This one's starting to make a move by the guard, but is she going to stick around is the question. And the answer to that question is yes, she did. So an opportunity now for Serena Gray Withers to use those corner guards that have piled up on the left-hand side of our picture. Not going to get shot rock, obviously, on this delivery, but you are going to want to try to get full cover. So we send him in on the inside brush. Now trying to finish it behind cover. And a very nice shot from Catherine Clifford. Fully buried, but it does slide just past tee. So Aaron Pincott and Corryn Brown saying, yep, we can just follow that one down, sit right on top of it. That would be pretty good. Seems odd to say with a 4-point lead, this is an important shot, but it kind of feels that way. After having really total control of the entire match. Warren isn't really good with this one. Could be opening the door for Serena Gray Withers to score a pair or maybe more. This one has got a long way to go. Now it's making a move. Where's the weight? It does not want to bounce, but it's going to bounce a fraction. Just a fraction. Well, there's that door open. I think that Serena can squeeze that one back. It's going to have to be perfect. She can throw back 8-foot weight. Cross nose of that Yellowstone just delivered by Corryn Brown. Maybe flop a half a rock behind the corner guards. And all of a sudden, Corryn Brown's staring in the face of dropping 3. Team Brown lying 1 and 2, but they are a bit vulnerable. Needs to have enough weight to push that Yellowstone back at least a couple of feet. And ideally wants to get the nose, and even more ideally across nose. Is it going to finish enough? Well, that's pretty good. That needed to curl up another half a centimeter, and that's absolutely perfect, but it's pretty good. Kind of set up to jam if Corryn Brown chases. So red lying 1. Looks to me like Corryn Brown wants to make a play at it. Doesn't look like there's any risk of a jam on the back yellow. But really not much room for error here for Corryn Brown. If you ever wreck those corner guards, you're probably dropping 3. Big weight. This one is going to be awfully close to those corner guards. Is she by? Is she by? No. Yes. No, she wrecks. And there is the disaster scenario we were just talking about. Clip the corner guard, and all of a sudden, boom. Serena Gray Withers has a draw for 3 to get right back in this game. A little bounce on the attempted freeze. The little clip on the corner guards. It's a game of centimeters curling. Really crucial now that Serena Gray Withers takes advantage of this mistake. Got a couple of options. She could play the open hit, but she's choosing to draw. Trick with the draw is, even though she's got backing, she doesn't really. She's going to have to draw it in there pretty cold. She can't afford to move those red stones. Doesn't want to move that second shot at all. Final stone on its way. 4th end for Serena Gray Withers. It's in the hands of the sweepers, and they're working it hard now. Need a piece of the forefoot. Need a piece of the forefoot. Have they got it there? Have they got it there? Yes, they do. Great shot from Serena Gray Withers. Throw a 3 on the board for Team Gray Withers, and they are right back in this game. Huge count of 3. After 4 ends of play, Team Brown lead it by a score of 4-3.
I've got the bill.
Well, now I've got the tip.
Standard tip increased 2% this year.
That's why I keep you around. So, corn's looking great. Well, our crop plan is working.
And we locked in that input financing at the perfect time.
Well, what do y'all think? Too blue? Not blue enough? Try this.
Makes your eyes pop.
This could be our best yield yet. And didn't we get this seed at a great financing rate?
Yeah, we did.
Iced tea? Great idea. Let's talk more about next year. I got some thoughts.
And I've got some numbers.
Nutrien Financial. Financing that's in the field with you.
Welcome back to Swift Current. Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown. Women's draw, our feature match. Corryn Brown versus Serena Gray Withers. And after controlling the game for the first 3 ends, Serena Gray Withers throws a 3 on the board, and we've got an entirely new ball game. This is the first time in the game that Corryn Brown has actually had hammer. 3 consecutive steals and ends 1, 2, and 3 before dropping the 3 in the 4th. So let's see what Team Brown can do with Last Rock here on end number 5. Glad you're with us wherever you're joining us. Very nice. Come around draw there from Samantha Fisher. Just about perfect, really. That really sets the tone so much when your lead player throws a great corner guard and then follows it up with a great come around. You feel like you've got a good pair of hands on the steering wheel as far as control of the end goes. It's like you can almost put that point on the right-hand side of our picture into your pocket mentally. Round draw slides back button. So Jennifer Armstrong will be asked to follow that one down. Might be being asked to just bump it. Great looking line. And a very nice shot. Very well executed. Perfect weight. Great shot. Good line read. Excellent, excellent team shot there. So Team Brown line 2. They've got Hammer here in the 5th end. Pool play competition, 5-team pool. This is a Pool A mat. If we get to the 8th end tied, we will play an extra end. Brianna Cullen attempting the freeze. Comes up fractionally short. Really good line. But it's second shot. Pretty lively match out there in Swift Current. Players yelling down the ice surface at each other, trying to understand exactly what they're trying to play. It can be pretty difficult sometimes to hear what's going on with all of the noise and action going on across 4 sheets of play. This one's going to flirt with the center guard, but they just get it by. Do they squeeze it past the shot rock? Yes, they do. Very well swept. Very nice shot. Jennifer Armstrong. Two Yellowstones are lined up for a pretty natural double takeout attempt, Hill. It'll be Catherine Clifford with the opportunity to remove a couple of Yellowstones. This one is already over curling, so no double takeouts. So it's an audible. They're going to try to roll it across instead. And that was really well read by Serena Gray-Withers. Saw that the double takeout wasn't there. So instead calls the sweepers off, saying, okay, we'll treat it like a hit and roll instead. And left the roll in a very good spot. Making it quite awkward for Corryn Brown to deal with. So awkward, in fact, you're going to ignore it for now. Aaron Pincott being asked to draw around. Like to be front button 3/4 buried behind that red, I think. Sweeper's working this one very hard. They think it's light. Working it, but it's going to come up short. Just going to feather that front guard and stop short of the rings. Does at least offer some protection for the shot rock. So a couple of options here for Serena Gray Withers. Electing the draw, going to come around her own center guard. Also has the option of the run back on that red. Says there's enough room here. Shot rock is nearly completely across the tee line. Catherine Clifford is going to be asked to draw up in front of it. Lots of room. We've seen this shot track a couple of times in this game, but there is late finish. Now it's making its move. Trying to drag it as far as they possibly can. Comes up fractionally short. Second shot. That's in a very dangerous spot. Easily promotable. So decision time here for Corryn Brown. Elects the inside corner freeze. Thought for a moment about the run back red on red. Thought better of it. Since we're lying one now, don't want to make the shot for our opponent. One's well clear of the guard. How's the weight? They want to get a cross nose. They must get a cross nose. You do sweep it in there, and they do get just fractionally across nose. It's a pretty useful shot. Serena Gray Withers patting her brush in the front 12, but thinking, okay, at this point, we'll take the force. We can get it. Catherine Clifford says, what if we whip one around the other way? They'd only have to move shot rock about 2/3 of a rock width. There's no shot here without risk. Switching gears from the point of view of your opponent, there are 2 or 3 options that Corryn Brown is going to have for her last 2 shots of the end. You got the red straight back, you got the yellow angle run, you got the yellow angle on the wings if you were desperate. Got a thin double jump shot. So Corryn Brown's got some options. Serena Gray Withers, if she's thinking guard, she won't be able to guard everything. Judging from where they were patting the ice before Serena went down to the delivery end, I'm thinking this is a guard. We'll see. it's not light. That doesn't really help the cause very much. Two to come for Corryn Brown. She's lying one. Question for her is, do you play this shot now or do you save it for your last one? If you play the yellow run now, you open up shot rock. As tempting as it is to play the run now, I'm not sure that I wouldn't keep it in my pocket for the last shot. I believe she's playing yellow onto red. Left-hand side just in front of the brush. Not 100% sure of that, though. And if that is the shot choice, as I was saying, but the only reason I don't like that is it would open up shot rock. So she does leave herself lying three, but shot rock is now undefended. Just one stone to come, though, for Serena Gray Withers facing three. Question for her then is, am I in damage control mode or do I gamble a little bit and try for a steal? If you're in damage control mode, you play the double. You run a bit of a risk of jam on the back reds when you do that, though. But you are saying, okay, worst we're going to do is drop two. Problem with that, from my perspective, is if you drop two, and then you're right back to down three again, with three to play. That's not insurmountable. You play a little bit more aggressively, play the shot rock, flop behind the center guard. Risky, because if you don't execute it perfectly, you probably drop three instead of dropping two, but you increase the chance that you can steal. Always a combination of risk and reward, every shot choice in curling. And no better example right here for Serena Gray Withers of Edmonton. It is the attempted double. Is it going to jam? Yes, it will. Stuff's on the back. Now, routine shot really for two. It's really not worth trying to think about the jump shot to score three. There is a shot for three here, but you'd do it if you had to do it to win the game. Corryn Brown not in that situation now, being one up. You take the easy shot for two, as opposed to the risky shot for three and maybe risk up giving up a steal. You'd never want to do that in this situation. Final stone of end number 5 for Corryn Brown of Kamloops. Open hit to score two. This one is moving. Working hard to try and hold the line. Is it going to overcurl? Is it going to overcurl? Can they hold it? Are they by? Yes, they are, but will they stick around? This one's going to spill. It's only going to be a single point for Corryn Brown. Opportunity lost for Team Brown. Open hit for two, overcurls. They spill. They only get a single point. Team Brown lead at 5-3 after 5.
Light up your love for curling with our customizable neon LED lights from Letterlands. Choose your new neon mixed doubles partner or make a statement with a neon curling rock in your window. Also actual Letterlands. Use discount code WHOA for 15% off. Only at Letterlands.com.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Swift Current is great because everybody that we do business with, we know on some sort of personal level.
What I love about Swift Current is the vibrant arts and culture community.
I really like Swift Current. We are not a big city, but the size of the city is really good and we have everything.
Swift Current is a great sports town, great teams and great fans.
People say, good morning, hi, how are you, even though we don't know each other.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Welcome back to Swift Current. We're at the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown. A pretty entertaining game between Corryn Brown and Serena Gray Withers. Team Brown enjoying a 5-3 lead. Team Gray Withers with the hammer here in end number 6. And they've clawed and scratched their way back into this game. Corryn Brown with an error on her last shot in the 5th end. Had a pretty routine open hit for 2. Overcurled and spilled, only got the 1. And that means if Team Gray Withers can come up with a pair here in end number 6, you'd have to say that they're in control of the back half of the game. Zoe Cinnamon threw a corner guard on her first shot. See her little pre-shot routine where she kind of waves her arms a little bit to kind of stabilize and get set to go. And now she will try to draw around that corner guard. Every player has their pre-shot routine. It can be very, very subconscious, really. You want to kind of do the same thing every time out, the same set of adjustments and the way that you align yourself in the hack, and a very nice come around draw there from Zoe. It can be quite funny. You video a team and sometimes you show them the pre-shot routine, and quite often an athlete, if they've never had coaching or training before and they see this for themselves, they say, I had no idea I did that before every shot. It's just something you do. Armstrong just slightly deep with that attempt to follow it down. Slides to the back 8. It is shot rock. Serena won't mind that one bit. Sitting behind the tee line. It's off the center line. It's all goodness. Stuff to use. Brianna Cullen I'm going to try and pick this one out, but this one is really curling. It's going to be close to the shot rock. Well, they get it by. Very well swept. Spills across and maybe 1/4 corner freezes the stone in the back ring. First game of the tournament for Team Grey Withers. They're sectioned off into pools of 5 teams. So this is the first Pool A game for Serena Grey Withers and her teammates. Corryn Brown and her teammates. This is their second game. They suffered a loss to Clancy Grandy in their first game. They're trying to get their record back level at 1-1. Jennifer Armstrong. Got the center guard up. They're trying to use it. He's going to slide just past T. Well, just right on the pin, actually. Nice shot. That will force a decision from Serena Grey Withers. You run the center guard, or do you play gentle weight around that guard to try and save that guard? Doesn't look like the call is the nose run. I think that's the right call here. Just a cross nose would be perfect. You could double off the shooter. You could roll slightly towards the corner guard position in the process. Can they hold it? Can they hold it? No, just past the shot rock. Does open up the shooter. Just over curled, maybe half a centimeter. The fine tolerances at this level of elite curling, those little differences, can be game changers, literally. A lot of thought in this shot. And after some consideration, it looks like Corryn Brown has decided to go half around the corner guard into second shot position. My friend Colleen Jones would say Christmas tree it. Half around, half around. So he's got some moving to do, though. They must get a corner behind that guard, I think. Otherwise, they're going to run the risk of dropping a double takeout. Good late sweep and a good shot. Well, now as I say that and I look at it from the delivery end, maybe not as good a shot as I thought. It probably needed to be in second or third shot position really to cut the opponent out of multiple points. Because by going around that guard, you're going to expose the shot rock. And Serena Grey Withers says, I'm going to have that, please. Catherine Clifford. Just be playing boardish, control-ish kind of weight. Looking for a little outside roll, and they get it. And Team Grey Withers lie 3. They've got the hammer here in 6. 3 stones each to come. We saw Corryn Brown pat the ice and say hit and roll. I don't think she's thinking double takeout at all. Just wants to hit the shot rock, flop behind her own. This one needs to curl a bunch, though, to get that inside roll. She's going to go to nose. Jams the stone at the back. They leave themselves in the open. So still a very good opportunity here for Serena Grey Withers and her teammates. They've got good separation between their stones. And we're starting to run out of rocks here in end number 6. Must save the shooter here. Must save the shooter here. Have they got any contact at all? Grazing it. How far are they going to push it? They just get it out of position. So think about that one as kind of like a feather takeout, really. So red line 2, and that's a bit of a escape hatch there for Team Brown. That one would have hit and stuck in the outside 8-foot, and they were looking at 3 here. It'd be a very different calculation for Corryn Brown. Skip stones to come. You're on end number 6. Corryn Brown content to just pick that stone off in the back 8-foot. Jams, but she doesn't worry about that. It spills out of play in any event. Conservative but sensible play there, I think, from Corryn. You drop 2 here. You still feel like you've got reasonable control of the game, although it's tenuous. Maybe trying to blank 7 somehow if you could. Drop 3, it's a very different thing. So by hitting that stone back 8-foot, Corryn Brown takes 3 off the table. Serena Grey Withers still with a great opportunity here to tie the game up, though. Nathan Clifford says no. We've seen this 8-foot circle line track a little bit through the game, but it looked pretty good. No problem at all. Right to nose. And Serena Grey Withers lies 2. And now it's decision time for Corryn Brown. After playing the hit on her last shot to take 3 off the table, no surprise here that she's looking to maintain that strategy and basically saying, okay, I'm happy to concede 2. Well, you're never happy to concede 2, but I'm willing to concede 2 if I have to. If you had more of a gambling streak, you could try the tap on your own stone top 8-foot. But then that would run the risk of dropping 3. Corryn Brown says, no, I'm not interested in that. I will just hit this stone in the open and hope beyond hope that the worst that happens is we drop 2. Nose hit made. So here's the key shot now for Serena Gray Withers. We saw Corryn Brown make an error on her previous shot in the last end, with a chance to hit and stick around for 2, and she rolled out. Serena Withers, if she can hit and stick here, will tie this game up. After trailing for the entire game, Serena Gray Withers with an opportunity to tie this game up here in end number 6. Last rock is on its way. Wonderful words to hear from the line caller whenever they say clean. You're very happy as a sweeper. It means you're really close. Nose hit, no problem. Serena Gray Withers has fought her way all the way back, and after 6 ends of play, we are tied at 5 in Swift Current.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Well, what do y'all think? Too blue? Not blue enough? Try this.
Makes your eyes pop.
This could be our best yield yet.
And didn't we get this seed at a great financing rate?
Yeah, we did.
Iced tea? Great idea. Let's talk more about next year.
I got some thoughts.
And I've got some numbers.
Nutrien Financial, financing that's in the field with you.
SaskTel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? SaskTel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
We are back in Swift Current. Glad you're with us. We're at the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown, and we have got a dandy going here. Serena Gray Withers, after trailing for the entire game, has tied it up with a pair. And end number 6, Corryn Brown has the hammer here in the 7th end, and it is anybody's game. Brown stole 1 in the first, stole another in the second, stole 2 and nearly stole 3 in the third. 4 up and looking pretty happy. There's been a couple of half shots and bang. Serena Gray Withers scores 3 to bring them within 1. Corryn Brown had a makeable shot for a 2 in the 5th, rolled out to only score a single. Gray Withers comes back with 2 in the 6th, and we are dead even at 5. Soy Cinnamon looks to draw in front of the stone in the back button. Sits alongside it, creating a pocket. It'll be interesting to see how Corryn Brown decides she wants to use that. When you go into an end with this situation, you're thinking, I want to keep it kind of tidy. You would love to blank this end. But then you get presented an opportunity like this early in the end, and you're thinking, oh gosh. Every fiber in your being says, I want to attack. This is a chance to really pile them up, and you could score 3, and then you're kind of cruising, coming home playing 8. But then your head takes over and says, wait a minute. We've only had 3 rocks in the end here. I want to keep the blank alive. So take the freeze away. Eliminate stones. Oh, and a very nice inside flop there from Sam Fisher. Welds it right on top of her shot. Perfect. See the smile from her teammates. That may not be keeping the blank alive, but all of a sudden that puts multiple points on the table for Team Brown. Serena Gray Withers is going to need a crane and a ramp to get that stone off the pin. Brianna Cullen looking to unlock those stones somehow. Oh, and that's an excellent shot. Excellent shot. Nose to nose. Pops it off the back, makes it look easy. That was not an easy shot, but she made it absolutely perfect. Now it's Team Gray Withers with the upper hand. Serena Gray Withers would say, okay, we can throw 11 more shots. Leave those 2 stones exactly where they are. I'll happily give a single point to Corryn Brown in exchange for the hammer and 8. Corryn Brown rips the front, and now the game of cat and mouse, I'm sure, will begin. Guard peel, guard peel, guard peel. Brianna Cullen with the first guard attempt here for Team Gray Withers. Nice thing is the sweepers. You can use the center line as a bit of a guide. You know you need to straddle center. So you can sweep it basically to bisect the center line. That's exactly what they do. No prizes here for guessing what the next shot choice of Corryn Brown's going to be. She needs to rip that guard. Jennifer Armstrong trying to get rid of that guard. Pops it, spills. Not ideal. Sits off in a corner guard position, but it kind of clutters up the access into the pin on the outturn side in the process. That may or may not matter. We'll find out a few shots from now. Catherine Clifford. Her turn to throw the guard. Sweeper's backing off this one and walking behind the rock. That's never a good sign. That usually means the rock's heavy. Will this one over curl and creep into the rings? Well, yes, maybe biting the top 12 foot, but probably more importantly, didn't fully cover shot rock. Corryn Brown says, I don't care. I'm going to hit it anyways. Nice thing, though, about this stone being so near the rings, if she does get a roll across behind that corner guard, she could get onto the rings behind cover. That would be a bit of a bonus. Would take the possibility of blank off the table, though. We are going to try to save the shooter. It will stay on the rings. So that dramatically reduces the probability of blank. And that suits Serena Gray Withers down to the ground. That means she can focus entirely on the force. Once again, Cinnamon and Cullen kind of backing off this one. Again, thinking maybe it's a fraction heavy. And this one will again creep close to the rings and into the rings. And actually biting a piece of the 8 foot. So, big decision now for Corryn Brown. If you hammer nose on the stone just delivered, you're going to squirt the red shot walk to the right. The question is, if you can catch it thin enough, maybe you can push it off the rings. But if you catch it a little bit too thick, maybe you push the red stone behind cover, and that runs some risk. You're probably not going to get the rocks in this alignment again in this end, though, so Aaron Pincott's going to come down. They're going to have a chat about this. All around, what do you want? Do we want to try and keep 2 or 3 alive? Are we trying to keep a blank alive? What are we trying to do here? The entire team's going to come down and have a chat. The other option that they've got is they could play soft weight at the shot rock, try to unlock the stone at the back. That would leave 2 red stones in the rings, and that's not great. They're talking about playing a hit and roll on the guard stone, very similar to what happened on the first shot, which is fine, but you're giving Serena Gray Withers a chance to make a better guard. This is probably the worst guard that they're going to see, so if you're going to make a play here to try and rattle stones around, this is the shot to do it. As we look in the overhead, thinking a few shots ahead, that yellow stone on the wings could be a bit of a Hail Mary in-off shot for Corryn Brown to use if she had to come in sideways to get at the shot rock or the second shot rock, the red shot on the button. I'm not sure I don't just hammer the stone in the front 8 foot right on the nose. Angles aren't great, though. Red, yellow, as we look at it on the overhead, just slightly staggered. If they were lined up more nose to nose, maybe you'd try the straight back double, but because of that angle, much more of a jam red onto yellow. Almost no real chance to squirt it out, so it does look like it's just going to be a hit and roll on the front red stone. Challenge with that is I still don't see how that helps them score more than 1. I'm not sure I wouldn't be making a soft weight play at the shot rock on this one, but never mind. Decision made. Here's the hit. Here's the roll. Good roll behind the corner guard. So Yellowstone's accumulating. Shot rock opened up. Outturn side is the side to protect for Serena Gray Withers. This is an interesting call. Is she playing the hit on third shot? I confess I'm a little bit surprised with this call. I would have expected another guard in this situation. The risk when you're playing at third shot, catch it thin, clip your own red, unlock them a little bit. Maybe you're giving your opponent a bit of a get out of jail card. There's the hit, gets a roll, but there's the danger. So I don't think Corryn Brown's going to be able to squirt the red rock front of the pin out of shot rock position, but what she will absolutely be able to do is unlock them. Yeah. I don't like second guessing shot selection, but I really did not like that call at all. If you guard on that shot, what has Corryn got? Not much. But now Corryn all of a sudden has a chance to unlock the stones and maybe set up a 2, maybe a 3, depending how much contact that she gets on that red shot. If she 3/4 this, just pushes the red, pushes the yellow back, and saves the yellow in the back of the rings, 3 is definitely on the cards for Corryn Brown. This one needs to curl, though. Needs to get across, needs to get some kind of contact on that red stone. Well, just got the tiniest bit of contact. Oh, goodness. What an opportunity lost. If she unlocks that red-yellow just a fraction more, they're cooking with gas, but just nudged it a tiny fraction, and it'll still be very difficult, but not impossible, for Corryn Brown to squeeze that red stone out. Catches that one just a hair more, or a hair less, rather. Even if she got half a rock separation between the red and the yellow, Gray Withers would have been in real trouble. As it stands now, interesting now that Serena's looking at the guard after not playing the guard on the last shot. The danger shot is that yellow stone in the front forefoot. Corryn can slam that half on the outside, angle yellow into red. It'll jam and lose the yellow at the back button, but she could probably push that red stone out of the rings, I think. She'd have to throw it pretty hard, though. Probably have to about 7/8 that yellow stone with a lot of takeout weight. But if she had a chance to throw it, it would definitely be worth the gamble, I think, for Corryn Brown. First things first, guard attempt here from Serena Gray Withers. Trying to block the path to that yellow stone. And that's a very, very nice guard. Perfectly covering that angle run. So, what's your call here? From the overhead, it certainly looks like yellow is lying one. You could go totally unorthodox and make some kind of a play to give your opponent one and keep hammering to the eighth end. You could play yellow tap, red tap, give red the one, take the hammer into the eighth end if you were inclined. There is that thin in-off off that yellow stone that we talked about earlier in the left-hand side of our picture on the overhead. I'm not sure if she can get there thin enough to redirect the in-off and come in on an angle sideways. She would almost have to hit the back half of the red stone to make. But that is a shot for potentially three. Running the yellow guard in on the red, I don't think does anything for you. So she does look like she's going to try the in off. As I said, it's a bit weird sounding, but I'm not so sure I wouldn't try the tap red to yellow and just give my opponent one here. Say, here, have the lead, but I'll take the hammer into 8. Scoring 1 is about the worst thing here, I think, for Corryn Brown. So it's the attempted in-off. Needs to catch just a tiny piece of that outside stone. No, it needs to curl more. It needs to curl more. How much more will it curl? Gets contact, but, well, she does wind up giving her opponent a singles point, and that is not the end of the world, I think, for Corryn Brown. I think that's actually a pretty good result. So we go to the 8th end. Serena Gray Withers steals a single point and leads at 6-5 as we enter the 8th.
I've been farming on my own right for 40 years now, I think. It's a very wholesome enterprise. You have very, very busy periods when you have to go hard. So many of our windows are so tight that you just can't afford to miss a couple days of seeding.
When a producer places their trust in us, that when it's time for them to be able to make their living, we're going to be there. That's a tremendous responsibility that is not a one-day-a-year thing, right? In order to actually deliver on that, you have to build your processes and you have to build your team and you have to have a mindset of operational excellence, because there's a lot of things that can go wrong. And it's our job to make sure that they don't go wrong. Or if they do go wrong, that we can fix it before it affects our customer.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Light up your love for curling with our customizable neon LED lights from Letterlands. Choose your new neon mixed doubles partner or make a statement with a neon curling rock in your window. Also actual Letterlands. Use discount code WHOA for 15% off. Only at Letterlands.com.
Welcome back to Swift Current with the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown. And this game is heading for a showdown. Serena Gray Withers has gotten herself into the lead, leading at 6-5 over Corryn Brown of Kamloops. Team Brown with the hammer here in the 8th end. To use a sporting cliche, this has been a game of two halves. Team Brown opened the scoring early. Stole the first 3 ends. Stole a single in the first, a single in the second, stole 2 in the third to lead at 4-0. Then a couple of half-shot errors. Serena Gray Withers and her teammates threw a 3 on the board in the fourth. Corryn Brown had a chance to score a 2. Hit and rolled out, got a single point. Gray Withers came back with a 2 of her own to tie it up. And then stole the 7th end. And Corryn Brown attempted an angle run in, or an in-off. Didn't quite come off. Promoted the Gray Withers stone into shot rock position to give them the steal. And this is where we are, 8th end. Center guard is up. Nice shot by Zoe Cinnamon. And the game is well and truly joined. Samantha Fisher being asked to come around that center guard and corner freeze the shot rock. Sweeper's not laying a brush to it. Now they're jumping on it. Did they leave it too long? I think they did. It's going to be about a foot short. A little bit of a sweeping error there, I'd have to say, from Pincott and Armstrong. Leaving it about a foot short. Team Gray Withers with the lead. They can play this end almost like they're trying to force Team Brown. That's why that first rock was on the button. They knew that their opponent would ignore it. Guard it up. And now you see how far through the end you can get with that shot rock surviving behind cover, because the longer it goes, the less chance Corryn Brown's team has to score 2 points. Important shot here from Jennifer Armstrong, trying to rearrange the front. Moves rocks around, but there's still a lot of granite in front of those rings. And Serena says right away, let's have another one up there, please. Let's build a wall. Things getting a bit more quiet out there on the playing surface as some of the other games are finished. It allows our focus to be very squarely on this enthralling match. They'd love to tuck a corner, get a little bit of an overlap if they could, behind that long yellow guard. No overlap, but they do leave it high. Some options now for Corryn Brown. You can angle yellow onto red, double clear the front. If it over curls, you pound yellow straight back on yours and you kill the shot rock. It's close to that run back. It's close to that run back. There it is. And there goes shot rock. And that changes the complexion of the end considerably. Corryn Brown needs 2 to win. Those 2 points are in the rings right now. But there are guards up front. Right now, the guards are very much the friend of Serena Gray Withers. In poker terms, this is kind of when you have to go all in. Now this will be a takeout attempt. Looking for a little tiny inside roll. And they get that tiny little inside roll. That is a perfect roll. Very nice shot. Catherine Clifford with a pistol. Now a big decision coming up for Corryn Brown. You know you need two to win. But you also know that you need to score. Otherwise the game's over. You don't really want to disturb that guard. But you may have no choice, and so it's time for the team to come down and have a talk about it. You're still in pretty decent shape to score two here. But a bad decision here could be really costly, so they're going to talk about it. The guard will eventually kill you. The center guard, that is. Your second shot is really well protected right now. Thing is, if you just clear that red center guard off, Serena's got a couple of options. She could just replace it, or alternatively, she could whip one around the corner guard, sit on top of the second shot, and really take the two, not quite off the table, but really make it tough. So after the debate, the shot does look like it's going to be a play on the center. She could play this to be a straight clear. She could also play it as a run back. Try to pick off the red shot, which is second shot currently. Erin Pincott, shots on the way. You don't want to be in between the two, though. Oh, that's a terrific shot. Terrific shot from Erin Pincott. Picks off second shot, does leave the center guard, but the positive thing for Team Brown, if you're going to leave a guard, at least it's your own. So if Serena Gray Withers manages to get around this shot, it'll be Catherine Clifford delivering it. You do know that that yellow stone that's on the center line now is your own, and you could run your own stone back. And that's the potential winning point. 6 stones to come, 3 from each team. Who's it going to be? Cinnamon and Cullen just walking alongside. Might be a fraction heavy. Needs to be shot, but it's going to be second shot. It's going to go deep. It's going to go back 8 foot. And now the door is wide open for Corryn Brown. Fantastic opportunity for this Kamloops foursome. If Erin Pincott can get one behind cover, front button, things get very difficult indeed for Serena Gray Withers. Here's the sweeper saying it's hot. Well by that guard. They need to get at least a piece behind cover. Now it's making a move. Now it's making a move. And it comes in to bite the front button. fully buried. Great shot from Erin Pincott. 2 pistols from her from this end. And now it is very much advantage Team Brown. Skip stones to come here in the 8th end. The potential winning points are in the rings for Corryn Brown of Kamloops. But Serena Gray Withers and her team from Edmonton, they're not out of this yet. There is a lot of distance between the shot rock and the guard. And Serena, if she can just throw, let's say back 8-foot weight, back 4, back 8, certainly has to push the shot rock and ideally get to nose. Shot's on its way. Sweeper's not laying a brush to it. Now they're a bit more interested. It's not going to get to nose, but it will get some contact, but it's going to bump and flop over into the open. Not what Serena was looking for. A sigh of relief, I think, from Team Brown. That was a bullet that they had to dodge. Not out of the woods yet. No question that the play is to eliminate the redstone. The only question is, where do you want to hit it? Nose isn't really very good. It's not terrible, but it's not great. If you roll it a bit to the outside, you run the risk of jamming. That's probably not fatal, because yellow would still be counting 1-2. So I think if given anything, rolling it away and out of play is probably shot A. Not too much inside roll there. If they hit half, they're going to disturb their shot rock. Well, here we go. Shot's on its way. Corryn Brown. Well, did they oversweep it? They've got some contact if they got enough. Yes, they do. She picks it clean. Nice shot from Corryn Brown. Little moment of terror on the sweeping call, but turned out okay. It will all come down to this shot coming up from Serena Gray Withers. Remember, she's got a 1-point lead, so you can play this shot one of 2 ways. You can say, I want to play for a tap. I need to tap it back. I need to push it into second shot position. Or you can say, I can play this a bit like a freeze. If I corner freeze on the outside, how does Corryn get 2? And then I'm happy enough to go to an extra end and take my chances. So it'll be interesting to see how Serena plays this shot. Does she play it aggressively? Try and leave her own shot in shot position? Try to win the game outright right here? Or does she play it a bit more conservative, cover up the access to the pin, and play for the extra end? Shot's on its way. What she cannot do is contact the shot rock and bounce into the open. Great looking line. Where's the weight? There's that little bounce, but not enough of it to really push it away into the open. Now we can see she has left enough of the 4-foot circle for Corryn Brown to say, okay, if I hit the tee line, we can win the game right here. But a very, very small target area to draw to for Corryn Brown, because if she tickles that front red, we're going to an extra end. Total team shot here. Sweepers need to be fantastically switched on in terms of communicating the weight. Aaron Pincott needs to give a great line read, and Corryn Brown needs to sink it on the tee line. Shot's on its way. Final shot, 8th end. Needs full 4-foot on the tee line for the win. This one looks a fraction heavy. Is it going to stop in time? Is it going to stop in time? Oh, I think it did just. It's close. 1 point for sure. But is it 2? They're going to call for a measure. So the drama continues. It was an aggressive early sweep at the tee line, but boy, that made the difference. That one went deep into the 4-foot, and we are going to measure to see if this game is over or if we are going to an extra end. 1 point for certain for Corryn Brown. And now the measuring stick comes out. And we will find out if we're going to play more or if this game is in fact over right here and now. Well, what a tense ending to this one. And we will just wait along with the rest of the players to find out who has in fact got second shot. And it is 2 points and the win for Corryn Brown of Kamloops. Wow, what an incredible game. Just enough of the 4-foot for that second point to clinch the victory. 7-6 win for Corryn Brown over Serena Gray Withers here in Swift Current. Thanks very much for joining us. Join us again later. Much more curling to come from the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown.
We feed the world with Nutrien, and a large portion of what our job is to get fertilizer out with the carriers so they can get directed to the farms or to the different retail locations. We know that if we don't have the answer to something, we're not afraid to reach out because we have support from everyone. We've got a really good team behind us.
SaskTel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? SaskTel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.